Hello out there. Welcome to another uh, live video from Brothers for a Better Benton Harbor. And we have our own group, which is also, no, put that over, okay. Men, just plain men with a purpose. And so we're coming to you with our subject for this month, which is respect. And so I'm just going to give you guys some insight from my perspective of what respect is, or what it should be. First of all, I want to also apologize for us getting the videos out this week and last week a little later than we expected to. We had some difficulties, had some things going on, so my apologies. We try to have them on the Thursdays, usually from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock live. But like I said, we had some things going on, so we had to do something a little different. But anyhow, we want to make sure that we are continuing getting our videos out so you guys can get the information. Okay. And these are all done. This is part of the mentorship program of what we are trying to do to help better our community here in Benton Harbor City. I thank Jehovah. I just thank him for the opportunity, and I thank him for the mindsets and the elders who work with me to make this happen. We don't get paid for this. We do this out of sheer love for the community, the village, our people. So, and we feel that if we can empower our people with knowledge, wisdom, we can move to better places. We can do better things, be better to ourselves and better to others, and not have such a negative, I don't know, let me see, just a negative look to other people on the outside. Because when people usually think of my city, or when they hear about my city, people from other places, other cities, they tend to think negative because of the negative things that they've heard. And then they tend to group us all in the same box as though there's no good thing can come out of Benton Harbor. But we have a lot of good people in this place, a lot of good people. I have come to meet and learn of a lot of people who are good. Just because we have some bad apples or some people who tend to do what it doesn't make the whole city bad. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay, so the subject respect. Okay, the meaning of the word respect. To have admiration, to admire someone or something, or to have a regard, a high regard for something or someone or something. I find myself, I'm stuck in old school when it comes to respect. I love respecting, really. I mean, it may sound weird, but I do. Giving respect to people who deserves respect. Everybody, everyone. Some people think that only some people deserve respect according to how they carry themselves or how they progress in life. But I beg the difference of that. I mean, people can do what they want. You choose to do what you want to do. But I feel like everyone deserves respect. At the end of the day, just like everybody wants to be loved, respect is a form of love to me. When you show respect, you show that you're regarding that person to be a human being and to be an individual who can be themselves and just and live on this earth and not feel condemned or ostracized or whatever just because of being them. I mean, for whatever reason, stuff goes on. People, all walks of life, people are doing different things, And so we need to learn how to respect sameness and difference, just because someone is different. And you see that I have on this This Nigerian, I'm sorry, this is Ghanaian garb, because I have respect for my African countries, the whole African continent. I have respect for them, just mad respect. I think they're just brilliant and wonderful. And I love clothing from there. You see the flag here, Puerto Rican. Because I've come to love even I didn't know we had so many mixtures in the world, these different countries and islands. And Puerto Ricans are mixed with, I think it is Spaniards and African. Then they have black mixed with them, so you have the Latin, Black Americans, and all this stuff. And I just think that's awesome. So, and I have respect for them. I have respect for everyone, all different cultures and countries. And why should I respect them? It's not that there's a big reason. I just think that we should give respect to everyone. I mean, we like to be respected. Americans tend to think because we speak English and we have this highfalutin lifestyles and stuff here in America, it's a wealthy country. We have a lot of innovation here, a lot of things that we do, and we feel like we're on top. And if you're not doing it in American style, you don't speak like us. Then some people used to tend to act like they're better in America, that they're better than other people in other countries because they're different. And I never thought like that. So, and I don't think that one should think like that. I mean, people are people in their places where they are, and they deserve respect. I mean, if you're in Russia, or if you're in no, not Russia. Let me pick a small country, Lithuania, somewhere, and they don't have the things like America. Them people still deserve respect. You still should look at them as human beings and treat them, even though the language is different. You can't understand them. If you can't understand them, you may be able to if you can speak the language. But if you can't understand them and they look different, so what? I mean, most of the world, people are looking different and speaking different. But, man, if you take some time and get to know people, people are the same pretty much all over the world. Even though the different languages and culture and everything, but as far as what makes us cry, what makes us laugh, what hurts us, the pain of losing a loved one, the same. Cutting someone, bleeding, red blood. So, it's just the language barrier. That's it, that language. But everything else is pretty much the same. The understanding of humans. And that's something that I'm really getting in my older years now. It's like humanism, really understanding of the humans, who we are and what we are, and what's important. What's important now? What's really important is not now, but what has always been important. It's just that when we're younger, growing up here in America, we're this American dream stuff. We're chasing after the money, chasing after the bling bling, chasing after stuff, to party, to feel like this, feel like that, make people think this about you, make people think that about you, and so we're chasing after these things, and that's what society makes us feel like it's important. But like I say nowadays, more so when you get settled, after that stuff settles, the dust settles down from that stuff, and you really start thinking, or you get into a place where you get to know people. You start, looking at the world differently, venturing off and really thinking. You learn some wonderful things, wonderful truths. And I thank God for just, the knowledge learning. But in learning those things, you have to have an open mind for learning, respecting life and respecting what life entails. The laws of the land. We got to respect the laws of the land, respect the laws of nature. And what tops all that, if you're a believer, the laws of God, respecting his laws, 10 Commandments or whatever, however you believe in with that. But respect I think respect also it breaks the ice. When you respect others, they can tell. It opens respect opens up doors. It opens up. It'll make another person open up to you, to talk to you and share with you, give you gold nuggets that they wouldn't have given you if you had approached them and came to them another way. Um, and we already know disrespect can be foul. You know, things can go from 0 to 10 when you disrespect people, because like no one wants to feel, um, you know, like you don't love them, or like you don't accept them. You know, that's a bad feeling to not be accepted, to feel like outcast somewhere. So um, the respect is, like I said, it can open up doors for you. I noticed when I was a kid growing up, my grandmother, my adopted grandmother, Miss Irma Sharon, she taught us to always respect our elders. Respect your elders no matter what. If they happen to say something wrong or tell you to do something wrong, then you come and tell. You don't sass the elder. You don't sass them. You don't say, um, you don't cuss them out and say things like you this, that, or the other. You don't say anything. You just, if you feel like it's wrong, you just leave and you go tell your parents. And then your parents go handle it with Mrs. Johnson or Mr. Piper or whoever the person is. The parents go handle it, but you just show respect all the time. Um, and yeah, there are probably some elders who get out of hand, may say some things or may do something that you feel is unfair, it's not right, but we have lost a lot of ground, lost a lot of, I don't know what to call it, because we don't respect, our young people don't respect elders like that. I hear some awful stories, horror stories, about how little kids may cuss out elders. I mean, the elder told me themselves that a little kid at the age of 7 cussed them out, was saying cuss words. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen such a thing. I've never, and it just I can't really fathom it. But I mean, I guess so, the way our world is, the way I even see in my city and everything, yes, it's possible it can happen because of the other stuff that I do see happening. So it's just like, wow, I don't know how we let it get like this. I don't know how we let it get to this point to where kids can do that. Kids don't, and then people talk about earning respect. You got to earn my respect in this. I Well, from my point of view, I figured earning respect, maybe an employer, you have to earn your respect. Maybe a leader, by leading you the right way, then they earn your respect. An employer, by treating you fairly, compensating you for your good work and everything, earns your respect. Um, but I figured in a culture, I'm going to talk in village terms. When you're living in a village, everybody help one another. Everybody is there, not just for their foe and no more, but they're there to help make the village to be good for everyone. That's why you have laws in place, rules in place, policies and different things, so that we don't um, cross the border. So we have what we call like borders. We're not crossing the line with each other. We're not going too far and doing things that hurt the other person. So these laws and policies and different things help us to be able to abide with each other or to deal with each other peacefully or harmoniously. So that we, like I say, like we're not hurting and clashing with each other because I'm trying to do this and you're trying, and you don't want me doing that because that's like maybe taking some of your stuff. Like on a land, a plot of land, and I'm going, and there's a divide there to keep me from going onto your part. But if I'm like going past the divide and putting tables up or doing different things and acting like that's mine, and you're like, no, 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 don't, so so we respect each other's lines, borders. We respect those things. And if you don't respect, then it's chaos. You're going to have chaos. Um, Respect in the streets. I've never been a gangbanger. I haven't been in the streets. I have cousins, relatives who in the streets, being in gangs and stuff, and they know how that life is, and they've talked to me about different things. Some went into details about stuff that they do. I respect the streets. And I just wonder about the culture of the streets nowadays. I just felt like, man, I don't think us the blacks, I don't think us black young men, I don't know if you really call it respect if we are killing each other for no good reason. If the reasons don't, I mean, no one's, it just seemed like it was senseless shootings, senseless killings. I was watching a video the other day, Snoop Dogg, and he had a video. I think was it called Unite or something? But in the video, was it Nipsey? They had some different people in there, and they had the Blood and the Crips had their hands like together, and there was the red and the blue. And they had their hands together and they were united. And there was, I guess, an ex-gang member who said that they had a video of him talking from prison and he was apologizing for starting, I think, the Crips, for starting the gang and to have this hate and to kill, to want to just, kill brothers, who were, I don't know what the aim was at first and what it was doing, but it was about colors. Respect means colors. I remember the song came out, Colors, 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 when we were back in the 80s. And I was used to wonder, what is that all about? What are they doing? Who's doing what that's making them kill each other like that? What is going on? So then they explained, I started to understand what it meant. I thought gangs was like what were them people called? The California Angels, Los Angeles Angels, Guardian Angels. And I thought it was like a gang, like they come together and they help patrol the streets, kind of like helping the police, kind of like the neighborhood police. That's what I thought gangs were about when I was young. But no, they weren't helping police the streets. I guess that would have been good if Day and Ray and them were out there and like policing the streets and making sure that people treat Mrs. Johnson right. Nobody was breaking in Miss Johnson's house. Nobody was hurting Miss Kim and stuff. And she's over there with her children, and she doesn't have a man in the house, and making sure that things are being done for her, mowing the lawn and stuff, or helping to be like a big uncle or big brother to her children. Miss Kim's children, since there's no dad there. So thinking that stuff like this is going on, but no, that's not what was happening. So anyhow, I like that video, and I have much respect for the man who did the video to say that he apologized for starting that kind of hate with us black guys. That kind of hate to make us not like each other, to make us be like, I want to hurt somebody, I want to kill someone. And I think it was I think because of some of us brothers deal with anger from whatever aspects in our life, whatever things may have happened in our life, like whether we may have went through trauma. And trauma, man, that's something. That trauma have you disrespecting folks. But I think because of the trauma that we experience, and we don't get it taken care of, because black people don't really go to psychiatrists, go see counselors and stuff like this to get help with how to process the different things that we go through, the different heartaches and trauma and stuff. And so, and then a lot of us guys, we try to grow up and try to be like regular guys and be, the tough, the macho, or have the appearance of having it all together, and then try to, go get a girl or whatever and have kids and stuff, and really you're not together up here, things are because you've been traumatized and that stuff has been dealt with, and so that stuff spills over in your relationship, it spills over in your friendships, and you don't know why you snapping off and or doing stuff here and there where you're disappearing or you're not able to talk to people, not able to open up and share with people what's going on inside of you. And it's like just wow, just terrible. So, and that's something that I want to start encouraging our brothers is to seek help. And I want to start I'm going to get people to come in, people that we can trust, people who love us and who want us to be healthy minded, want us to be okay, and to get them to be there. As many as I can find of even whether they be black or even of another race, of being counselors, to be there for us, and especially if I can find brothers who are counselors and who understand, the things that we go through, the hardships, and can help us with those tools, because there are tools that can help our minds and stuff, help us to process the traumas and things. And I'm telling you, we got a lot of people walking out here who went through trauma, and you can't tell it. Something is going on, or something is, the way they act, but you don't know what. I mean, because they doing all the regular stuff that we're used to that make them seem like they're normal and they're okay. And I'm glad that people are starting to deal with mental issues and stuff like this. But trauma doesn't mean that you have to have mental issues, but it means you have some issues, though. Some stuff you need to have dealt with, and you can function better when you get those things dealt with, when you have them processed, the forgiveness or whatever it takes to just to go through this thing and grieve properly about it, or whatever it takes. But those things must be done so you can. And once you're done, I'm telling you, it's a breath of fresh breathing, fresh life, fresh air. It's you can breathe better, you can live better when this happens. I wanted to say in respecting that life in that way will help us, because respecting ourselves, sometimes the trauma that happens to people have them disrespecting themselves, and just because people are disrespecting themselves, we shouldn't disrespect people. Okay, like for instance, if somebody is on drugs, they're on drugs. They do drugs. But that doesn't give you a right to disrespect them, to be, to call that person out their name, like some woman that she's on this stuff. And, hey, David Bell, this woman is on this stuff and she's out of control. Okay, she's doing things. She's doing sexual favors and stuff for people for this drug stuff. To treat her less than a human, what do we get from that? I mean, she's still a human. She's still a woman. If she didn't have this drug in her, if this thing wasn't controlling her like this, she wouldn't be acting like this. She wouldn't be out here like this. She'd probably be some upstanding person that you'd probably be like, wow, she could be some queen of somewhere, or some professional or doing something where you'd be like, oh, okay, she got it together, and and then you want to show some respect. But I think we should just respect everybody, not have a respect a person, not just respecting the person just because they minds seem to be all together, or they got the money, or they got the bling and all this stuff. No, but to respect people just because they're human. The guy we may call homeless, who may be on the streets, people may say he's a bum, or he's living in the gutter, or drunk, who's walking down streets every day. You see him. We're not to disrespect him. We should respect him. I raised my child. I mean, when I was a kid, I went through a point where there was a man. I told this story before. There was a man in our community, and they called him Crazy Lee. And I used to live with my nanny over in Vineyard Projects, Miss Penn. And Mr. Crazy Lee, I call him Mr. Crazy because she taught me that. Mr. Crazy Lee. And I thought that was funny. She said Mr. Lee. but we called him Mr. Crazy Me. Because I didn't know that there was a difference, that I didn't really understand the word crazy then, either at that age. I think about 6, 7, 8, whatever. Anyhow, Mr. Crazy Lee. But we used to, the kids, the neighborhood kids, they would throw rocks at him and they would get him to chase us. And so, and I would join in, and because the chase was fun. It felt like it was fun. You know, we didn't know any better. I didn't. So, he would chase us, and we tried to get away from him. We thought he really would hurt us. We didn't know. I didn't know. But then when I grew up, and I learned, man, that wasn't cool. That wasn't right. You know, and so now, like my kids, and I tell them, you know, you see somebody and they seem like they may not be the way you think, that they may not be what we call normal, the way they talk or the way they act or whatever. Show them respect anyhow, you know, as a person. We have a person that's very well known in the city. And I tell my kids, hey, call him Mr. Not just that street name of what people call. No, call him Mr. This. Because he's a person and he's your elder. You know, he hasn't done anything to you. Just show the man that respect. Give him that respect. You know, one of my elders had told me back in the 70s, black men ran the streets of the city because people respected just the man nature, you know, because we were still in that era of respecting each person in their place. And he said the men, they ran the streets, and he said that if people were boys out there skipping school or whatever, the man would say something to that boy. Any man would say something to the boy and correct that stuff and go contact his parents or whatever and have something done. Kids wouldn't disrespect a drunk in the 70s, a drunk black man who was walking the streets or whatever. That drunk could even say something to the kids if they were acting out of place or doing something they shouldn't be doing. And I was like, wow, really? Because, I mean, I grew up in the 70s, but I wasn't in the streets. I was very sheltered. But he said that's what was going on. The man was doing in his place, and he was respected in his place just as a man. I was like, wow. But I do remember when I was a kid how it was disrespectful for a man to cuss in front of a woman. It was disrespectful for a man to cuss in front of children. It was disrespectful for women to cuss in front of children also. Children were held as, that was the respect for children, and then there was a certain respect for women also. And I was like, wow. And I just think about now, you know, growing up in the 80s and how that was different, and in the 90s seeing things, and how now, man, people cuss their children out, call them all kinds of H's and B's and different stuff. I mean, wow. I mean, you just be like, this guy, if you grew up like I did, where you didn't hear stuff like that. My mom didn't call us out of our names. She cussed, get your A in there and get them chores done. She said something like that, but like calling us out our names or anything, I never heard it. And then she didn't cuss a whole lot, only when she got mad, when she got angry, because we weren't doing right. But other than that, then we didn't hear the words. Then when she gave her life to God, we didn't hear the words anymore. But I grew up around cussing. I would hear it, but I do remember when they tell other men, man, watch your mouth, man, that woman over there. Wow, I like that. Can we go back to that? Can we go back to where we respect each other like that, where us men, we have our place, and we respect the women and the children, and where the women respect men? And that's a big thing. If any women get to see this video, that's a big thing with us men, is that there's not a lot of things that we really uphold about. We want love. We want you to love us. But your respect is what is a big love language to us. When you show us respect, and respect how you deal with us, especially in front of other people. It says it speaks volumes of love toward us. And it's like almost that's how we receive us, by how you respect us. So and I encourage my brothers, respecting each other. Respect. I don't know how we got so far from where we are. I don't know, man. I'm like, I know folks were dropping the ball, but dang, did they have to drop all the balls? I mean, we're just like, not all of us are crushed and messed up. But look at when you go out in the streets, look at what goes on when you go into the shopping markets, and just seeing families and seeing adults and kids and how they react with each other. It's different. But I got all hope that the higher power is going to help us to bring us together. I don't really care about other cities or what's going on in other states, but as far as Black Lives Matters, that's what I want for us. That Black Lives Matter, that's a respectful statement. But dang, I don't just want the white cop to respect black men. I want black men to respect black men. I don't just want the white cop to respect, and I'm saying white cop because it seems like, people like, oh, the cops are killing our men and stuff, and okay, and or hurting our black women, okay, and I understand that and I hear that, but there was a guy crying out. I mean, he wasn't crying tears, but he was crying out on YouTube about some shooting that I think is Evanston that was going on near Chicago. Dude was like, he's like, why is nobody talking about this? Why isn't no one talking about all the shootings that happened in a weekend? I think it was a 4th of July weekend. He was like, they were going crazy. But it wasn't cops, though, shooting no black people. It was black people shooting black people. I mean, killing them down, murdering them, just killing. And over what? I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was the big issue that they would be killing each other. But it's like, man, they were doing it. They were doing that thing, all that energy to kill each other. And so, and I said, man, we just have to respect. We have to somehow start back teaching it. If we all start back teaching it, all start back saying it, speaking it, and not every day, teaching it to our kids, because that's where it says the training. Because when you don't get trained in what to do and how to do, or how to be, then that's it. Then whatever you were trained to do, that's what you're going to do, or whatever you see, and on the streets now, or it's commonplace to see a lot of stuff that's like switched around, it's like what was good, what was evil and bad, now is good. And what was good to do and how you're supposed to act now, they don't do that. That's bad. It's like it's switched around. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But we need to figure it out. I mean, everybody got their own truth, and they feel like how I feel. If it feel good to you, just do it and stuff like that. But if it feel good to you and you want to do it, it may cross the boundaries of another person. It may cross those, that border. So if you cross the boundary, it feel good to you, but you're crossing the boundary. Like, you may want to sleep with that woman, but that woman belongs to that man. She's married, or she's she has a fiance, and you feel good. You looking at her and you lust, and you want to go and sleep with her, and that'll make you feel good. You're disrespecting, and disrespect has consequences sometimes. Yeah, disrespecting people sometimes has consequences where some people can't handle the disrespect, or they don't want, and really in some instances they have a right to feel that way. You feel just, man, it's just terrible. So you go and sleeping with folks and you shouldn't be, that's disrespect. It's disrespect. And I know, and the woman is allowing you, and so she's disrespecting her husband or her fiance. Yeah, I understand that, but you have a part in that also. You know, it's not just her. It's both people are disrespecting. So, and that's another thing. And us getting back to respecting ourselves and carrying ourselves in a way where it demands respect. Because there's a way you can carry yourself. There's a way that you can live. And people just, they take their hat off. When you walk by, when you come by, they have no beef. They have no words because of how you carry yourself. How they don't hear anything, or just by what they see and how you're speaking and how you are showing respect to other people. They're like, man, they got mad respect for you. You know, so there's a way, and that's even training our kids to respect themselves, carry themselves in a way that demands respect. Not that you open up your mouth and to demand respect, say, man, you better respect me. No, carry yourself in a way that make people want to respect you. And there are the ways, and it seems like even knowing what ways those are is like that's almost disappearing because our morale is. Man, let me stop. I don't want to make it seem like everybody's just bad, just doing bad, not doing good. But wow, it's different though, y'all. I'm telling you, it's different. Like the stuff I see from where I came from, growing up in Benton Harbor, just right here in Benton Harbor. I mean, it's different from the 70s and the 80s. Now it's different from the 70s and the 80s. I mean, really. I mean, stuff has started cooking then, but now it's done and burnt now. It's like, man. But like I say, I have all hope we can change this thing. That's why the brothers from Brothers for a Better Benton Harbor, we are doing this. We're doing the mentorship program because we want to take people back. We want to take them back to old school, and it shouldn't just, and I don't like to call it old school. It should just be a way of life. It should just be a way of life, just a lifestyle of just living right, living good. And like one of my elders, he always says, good and righteousness, just doing good and righteousness, and that just means doing what's right and what's good, just doing what's right and what's good. And it's sad if you don't know what the good thing is to do, but we should have it. It should be a common sense. But if you don't, common sense comes from things that are always done commonly. You know, something that's done common that you see a lot of. But things that used to be common aren't common anymore. You know, people just being good and just doing right and stuff. It's just not common like that anymore. All over the United States, you know, not just in Benton Harbor, all over. It's just not common for people to do the right thing, to be honest, or to just do the right thing, just do good, you know, just because. Not for a reason, not for some money, not because somebody gonna give you a reward or gonna, oh, I'm glad that you told the truth. Here you go, honey. Here you go. No, just because. Just because it's the right thing to do. You know, and when you live that way, you know, that type of, that's respect also. Respect for life, respect for culture, respecting, what would I want to say? Just that environment. Just respect. It just makes the whole environment better. We all respect, man. We all respect each other and don't have to pull out a gun to try to make you respect. If you have to try to get respect through fear, making somebody respect, that's fear. That's not respect. Respect is to admire or to regard, have high regard for someone. But it's in a good way. It comes from a good place. Respect comes from a good place. It don't come from a place of fear. A place of, you're going to beat me down or you're going to hurt me if I don't bow down or I don't do this or do that or say this or look like this when you walk by. You know, shake your hand or throw up a sign or do a dap or something when you walk by. That's not respect. And I think some people tend to think that is okay. Think that getting respect in that way, in a fearful way, using fear tactics and stuff is okay. I guess they feel like as long as a person is not moving against me or not doing this or doing that, they respect them. like I say, respect comes like in the form of love, and that's really what we need. And if we can learn to love people just because, you don't need no reason. You don't need a reason. Just like just like a higher power, the higher power, God Almighty. He loves us without a reason. There's no special reason. Even when we acting crazy, he still loves us. When we're being good, he loves us. And that's the way we should love each other. If you can't love a person when they go acting crazy, that's not good. Because like I tell people who are married, sometimes people are gonna be acting out of themselves. May not be acting like themselves. Maybe going on a tinge, just on a 9 or 10, going crazy in the house. Hollering, snapping, and everything. Well, they need love then also. They need you to love them. That's a hard time for them. They may not even know that they're going crazy. They may be depressed. Something may be wrong with them. Something's going on. Anger, stuff that they can't speak about. Some trauma that's going on. Something. And they don't know how to get it out. Or they don't know how to deal with it. And they're dealing with it in the wrong way. And you're seeing this. And it's affecting you. But to throw them away or throw them out or get rid of them or run away from them is not helpful. I mean, and that's why marriage is a good thing to help people to really learn humans. Because sometimes you have these bad moments where everybody, nobody's perfect. And people are not good all the time. So when you're really showing love, to really learn how to show love now, is when you help people through their bad times. When they're going crazy, when they're doing stuff. Now, not saying that you have to get beat up on and stuff and you just stand there or stay there with the person. No. There's a way you can deal with that from if you have to distance yourself, and try to get the person some help or whatever. But I mean, but not just, just jetting on a person, just leave them, that's love and respecting that person, that's loving them, through their bad times, when they talk about loving a person through the good times and the bad times, for richer or for poor, for sickness and through health. Because these things happen. But that's a respect too, even in our relationships, learning how to respect each other and the boundaries and different things that we may go through, and learning how to be there. Sometimes I think we, in relationships, we've fallen, we've fallen off even with those. The relationships aren't as strong like they should be, are not as healthy as they should be. And people are so hungry for love, so hungry for respect, that sometimes they get off into relationships that they shouldn't be into. Maybe this person was just meant to just be a friend, really. Somebody where you guys can vibe off of each other and help each other because of their knowledge of different things and your knowledge of different things or wisdom, and where y'all can help each other to grow and get to higher heights, but not actually being in a romantic relationship. And that's one thing we need to learn how is just learning how to want to help each other, how to give, good advice, if you have it. If you have it, you don't have it, keep your mouth shut. Because you don't want to give someone something to say something to someone and it doesn't help them. It can make things worse for them. So the respect in relationships, we need to even more respect in that sense of understanding people, understanding where they are, and really taking a look at before you get before you take an approach to a friend to make a friendship or relationship. Really noticing, how they respect themselves, or, or how are you guys really compatible, enough, to cross. Because sometimes you might have to love someone. They say love someone from a distance, trying to help someone, but not getting too close to them to where they don't hurt you. You can see a person needs some type of assistance, or they need some help, or they need a friend, and you feel like they need, and you want to be that friend, you want to help them, but you have to really have wisdom to understand when you talk to this person where they are in their psyche, and because you don't want to get too close or trying to be friends, and then they may do something that may end up hurting you, and then you back off and run away, but they really needed you. And so that's stuff that I've learned also in life, how to, um, of getting close to people, who to get close to and who not to get close to, but still loving, trying to love people, and respect them, even in their, we may call craziness or whatever they're going through, but respecting them still, not calling them out their name, treating them bad, or making them, trying to, calling someone out their name and trying to make them feel bad, really burning them with words doesn't make a person do better. If anything, it makes them more angry, and they tend to do crazier things because you're throwing these inflammatory words at them, and that just makes the situation worse. But to show respect and love, even when a person is going crazy, doing some stuff, it helps them when they come to their senses. They will love you. They will thank you. They will thank you. They may not give you a cash reward or anything like this, but they will be thankful. They may not even say it, but they will be thankful in their heart that you stayed there, or you didn't run away. You kept speaking to them in a loving way, or kept treating them good and respectful, even if it had to be in a distant way. Even if you had to text them, I'm thinking about you today. I'm hoping that you feel better. I love you. Or you don't even have to say I love you, but I'm thinking about you today and just want you to know I'm praying for you, or I'm wishing the best for you. Just texting it. And that could be like loving someone from a distance, because texting is very impersonal to me. It's probably why I don't like doing it that much. But, some people like, I will text. So, but, there are ways we have to learn these things, how to respect, how to cope, and how to deal, how to do. And the more you practice makes perfect, right? So, that's about all I have to say about respect. I just want us to all find ourselves doing it, not just black on black, but we can respect everybody in their rightful places. Respect, and respect takes you a long way, because people remember your respect. They may not say a word, but they remember, especially older people. They like it when us young folks respect them, and they make them want to do stuff for you. That I know, personal witness. They will want to do stuff for you. People come out the woodworks wanting to bless you and do things for you because they remember your respect when you were little, or they remember your respect when you were at the job place and you would come through there doing your job and respecting and doing like you're supposed to, and they'd be like, and you go to another job, and the person who used to work with you, now they're like a big time supervisor or manager, and they're like, hey, that cat down there, he's a good worker, hire him. Because they remember your respect. They remember how you respected that job, how you did what you were supposed to do, and how you came in there, you weren't going crazy, and you were minding your business and doing like you're supposed to, and they remember that. And so respect can get you to some places. It can get you to some connections, It can get you to better, So remember that. Respect. And that's the end of this. And I thank you guys for watching and listening. I hope you guys have a great week, great weekend, and God bless.